And welcome back to Ozarks Live. Now you know summer is upon us, and I know a lot of us are looking for a good summer read.
Yep, and look no further because today we're getting a few suggestions from Heather at the Springfield-Greene County Library.
Yep, let's hear some of those recommendations.
Hello, this is Heather from the Springfield-Greene County Library District, and I have two books to share with you today, one fiction and one nonfiction. My first book is Homegoing by Yagyasi, and this is an historical fiction title that begins in 18th century Ghana, and the first two characters you meet are two sisters, and one is forced to marry a British governor and she stays there in Ghana, and the other is kidnapped, sold into slavery, and shipped across the Atlantic to North America. So from there, the novel alternates between the side of the family that's still in Africa, the side of the family that's in America, and each chapter takes a different descendant from each side of their family and gives a little glimpse of their life. So what really stood out to me about this book is the way that it demonstrates how the effects of colonialism and the slave trade are not just something that happened a long time ago. They had effects and trauma that carried throughout generations. So this book does a really good job of demonstrating that. And beyond that, it's just a very beautifully written, very compelling story, or actually really a collection of stories, because each chapter features a different character, introduces that character, gives a little snippet of their life, and somehow in even short chapters, often fewer than 20 pages, the author makes a character who feels alive, whose story you're really invested in. So it's really masterful in the way that it does that, and ends up with a story that's just very compelling, very interesting, and that you won't want to put down. So that's my first title. And my second one is The Heartbeat of Wounded Knee, Native America from 1890 to the Present by David Truer. And this is a nonfiction book, and it's fairly long. It's about 500 pages, but it's very readable. You do not have to be a history scholar to enjoy this book. And the author does a great job of incorporating all of his meticulous research with his own personal stories of growing up on an Ojibwe reservation in Minnesota, and stories of other Native Americans he knows, and he kind of puts it all together. And the author does not sugarcoat all the atrocities that were done to Native Americans by the American government, even up into modern times in the last 120 years. But unlike some other books about this topic, he shows how Native Americans are not just part of the past, which is how they're often written about. He shows how that they are still here, they still have thriving, vibrant cultures. And so even though the book talks about some pretty awful and terrible things, it also has kind of a bit of a celebration of these cultures. So, and has a bit of an optimistic tone. So it's a great pick for anyone who likes history, even who just sort of likes popular history, and wants to learn about something that you may not have learned about in school. So those are my two books. And as many of you know, the Springfield-Greene County Libraries are open to the public again, so you can place these books or any books that you like on hold by going to thelibrary.org or by calling your branch and talking to library staff. So thank you so much for having me today here to talk about books, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather, for that. We appreciate the recommendations. So up next, we get to check in with Tom again over at Wild Animal Safari.
Yep, so don't go anywhere. Ozarks Live will be back before you know it.